Hey, what's going on, guys? My name is Damien. Welcome back. This is my review for the season finale of The Vampire Diaries Season 6, and it was a pretty big episode, so there's a lot to talk about, so let's get right into it. I imagine you've seen the episode by now. If you haven't, feel free to click off, come back later if you'd like. So, where to begin? Well, I guess it would make the most sense to talk about all of the important relationship stuff that happened in this episode, because even though there was a lot of things that happened outside of that, everyone was really just focused on saying goodbye to Elena. And I honestly didn't care for like the goodbye between Matt and Elena. I get that they're close, but I never really felt it the last like few seasons. So everything else was great though. And I can honestly say that they did a really good job wrapping up Elena's character with what they had. There was really not much else you could really do. And I actually saw a comment on I'm not sure which video it was, but the comment was actually spot on. I don't know where this person, I don't know if it almost seemed like they had seen the episode, because they said the exact same thing, that Kai would link Elena and Bonnie. I mean, it was spot on. I was just like, when I was watching the episode tonight, I'm like, wow, this was exactly what this person said. So let's talk about the goodbyes. Now, first, I'm going to touch on, before I get into the goodbyes, I'll talk about Stefan and Caroline. This episode, they didn't have many scenes because the episode was really all about Elena. I mean, it's a season finale, it's her last episode. They're going to try to send her off in a really, really big way. And they could have done a lot better if her character was, I guess, leaving in a different way, I guess, if it made more sense. But with the story arc, this was the best way to actually wrap her character up. It really wouldn't make much sense otherwise. So Stefan and Caroline really couldn't have many scenes in this episode. Now, their scenes were great, and with Caroline's reaction at the end, after Stefan basically makes his little 1 to 2 minute speech, Caroline looks really, she's actually excited, she's happy. So you know that Stefan and Caroline is going to happen in season 7. It's what I said in my last review. They really just had to build it up a little bit more and just kind of keep it that way so that they have something to carry season 7 with, because based on the way season 6 ends with Damon standing by the clock, it doesn't look very good. His character there's just gonna be that void that I was talking about, and it'll be interesting to see how he handles all of that. So Stefan and Caroline, as far as what they did this episode, was great. No complaints there. I can't wait for season 7 to see the two of them together. Am I going to enjoy season 7? I don't really know, but we'll see. I will start watching it. Am I going to continue to watch it all the way through? It's really hard to tell. It's going to be 20 episodes again. That's a lot of episodes where there's going to be filler. So we'll see how it all plays out. But as far as how it ends, it was really, really good. Now, the two big goodbyes. Of course, everyone knows the two big goodbyes were going to be between Stefan and Elena, and Damon and Elena. Now, even the goodbye with Bonnie and Caroline was pretty good. They reenacted one of their sleepover scenes from season 2, if I'm not mistaken. So that was good. That was fine. I enjoyed that scene as well. But the big ones, the ones that everyone's really going to be talking about, Stefan and Elena, and Damon and Elena. Now, Stefan and Elena has been dead for a long time, and I can say this as someone who has watched the show for 6 years. I remember when I started watching the show, and this might be a long review because I'm going to kind of turn the clock back a little bit and just kind of talk about some things. When I first started watching this show, I remember I had a MacBook, and I downloaded the entire first season. This was around August, summer, I believe. Is when I started watching it. I was 19. I started watching it, and at the time was so behind the whole hopeless romantic idea. So this was that idea pretty much defined me, right? So I would always watch everything with romance in it, and I used to like all this kind of stuff. It was like a weakness of mine where I just couldn't resist it. I would still watch all the guy stuff or do all the guy stuff, but there was that side of me that just had to get the romance fix. So when I started watching this show, I didn't even know anything about it. I think I saw a trailer or something like that, and I decided to check out the pilot because I was able to get the entire season no problem. So I watched the first episode, and I said, it's not bad, so I'll watch the second. The Stefan and Elena relationship drew me in instantly. I was hooked naturally based on what I just said. That's an easy pull for me. So their relationship is what got me started. And I had a personal connection with the two of them. The things they did, the honesty, the communication between them, their scenes, their moments. I mean, it was amazing. And on my old channel, I started posting Stefan and Elena scenes, and it was great. That was towards the end of their relationship, season 3 and early 4. So I really just connected with those two characters. And I remember binge watching season 1 right before season 2 started. I watched some of it in August, but then I stopped for whatever reason. I don't remember what happened. And then the last like 10 episodes or 12 episodes I watched 2 days before the season 2 premiere. So it was really, really good. Every single scene between Stefan and Elena in season 1, 2, and 3 were great, iconic as far as a show like this goes. I will remember a lot of them for a long time. I still do remember some of them. Like right now, as I'm saying this, I'm getting like images are starting to pop into my head, you know? So seeing them say goodbye tonight, was it as long as I'd like it to be? No, but at the same time, you have to understand that their relationship ended a long time ago. So they're basically just really close friends now, even though the show doesn't even really depict it in that way, because having Stefan and Elena scenes wouldn't really make much sense the way they handle their scenes. So yeah, that those are my quick thoughts, and if I can call that quick, I actually am gonna do an in-depth video. I think just talking about Stefan and Elena some more, maybe tomorrow or Saturday, and we'll see. But yeah, I enjoyed their goodbye. You know, they still are close even though they're not together, and it's at least nice that they can, you know, get to that point where they can have conversations like that and there not just be any tension or any kind of animosity towards each other. So it was great that they could say goodbye. And then again, you know, they got to that place a long time ago. So I enjoyed their goodbye. Now, before I get into Damon and Elena, Kai getting killed, decapitated, well, no complaints here. Everyone knew he was going to die, so I think he was hoping that Damon would be the selfish guy and let Bonnie die, but he's come a long way. He's not going to do that anymore. Plus, him and Bonnie are close now, so that's all that needs to be said about that. And Alaric and Joe, honestly, I don't know. Alaric, there's nothing left to live for. Elena's gone. She was like your closest family, and your wife-to-be and your 2 unborn children are both dead, so I don't even know what he's going to do next season. It's going to be a pretty depressing few episodes, I can imagine. I mean, it looks like at the end of the episode they did a little time jump. They were speeding things up a little bit, but I can't tell how much they actually sped up. It seems like it was a decent amount of time, but it's not going to be enough. So yeah, that'll be interesting as well, but I never really cared too much for the Alara character, so we'll see what happens. Now, I'm going to close my review with the Damon and Elena scenes. You know, ever since Damon and Elena started, I went from really just hating every single scene that they were in, not being able to stand anything that they did, to actually enjoying their scenes. And would I really say that I'm 100% satisfied with their relationship from season 4 to season 6? Absolutely not. But at the same time, it's, you know, it's what it is. I think with Ian and Nina breaking up outside of the show, the real life stuff going on, it changed a lot of things for the show, because I have to imagine it has to be uncomfortable to film those types of scenes when you're doing it with someone that you used to date and things didn't exactly end in the smoothest of ways. I'm not too familiar with their whole relationship, but that is my understanding of it. And then of course he just got married to that other girl, Nikki Reed, so it's got to be really awkward filming. So I imagine that had some part to play in her leaving the show at the end of season 6, because this kind of just came out of nowhere, and I know they had been planning it for a while, but you can tell that that really wasn't ideal. Now, the Damon and Elena relationship has been up and down, back and forth. There's a lot of things you just never got, but I think with what they had, they did the best they could. They wrapped it up in a way that at least leaves it open, so that when the show ends, let's say if you were to imagine the characters continuing on in 60 years, 70 years from now, in Damon's lifetime as a vampire, Elena will wake up after Bonnie dies, and then they can be together then. But that just leaves kind of a bitter taste in your mouth, because you're like, well, no one really cares about leaving it to the imagination. People just really wanted to see something on screen. And if you look back and you think about all the Stefan and Elena scenes, they had more scenes total as far as length because of their relationship being so long and no one really interrupting it than Damon and Elena did in season 4, 5, and 6. And you think that Damon and Elena would have more scenes considering there was some time spent apart for Stefan and Elena, and then time in season 3, even when she's with Damon. So it's unfortunate as it is, but they still closed out in a really good way. So I enjoyed their scenes tonight. Unfortunate that it's not really, it's more like in a dream state as all the other interactions were with the other castmates, but it's still them saying goodbye. Now, everyone said goodbye to Elena, and they're never going to see her again because they're all human characters and they're going to die. And the vampire characters really just don't, it doesn't matter. So, because the show is going to be long gone by then, season 7 is the last season. And I saw some people saying that maybe Elena will make an appearance. People have been hoping that she'll come back for the last episode. They could do something like that, but it's possible, but it really just comes down to a negotiation with Nina Dobrev if she wants to come back to the show. I don't think it's going to happen. I think she wanted to say goodbye to this show and move on with her life, do other things, and that's just where it's at for her character. Now, a lot of people said they aren't going to watch season 7. I don't know what you're going to do after this. How are you going to sell the idea of this show without her on it? So let me know what you guys think about it. Comment down below. Leave your thoughts and opinions. I'll try to respond, if not tonight, tomorrow. But yeah, I enjoyed the episode. It was great. It was really, really good. And it's been a long time since they had a really complete episode like that. Tyler's character, as well as minor as he is, had some okay scenes, giving the bite to Kai, and then he's leaving the show as well, as recommended by Elena. And then Matt becomes a I can't even get into that. But season 7, I imagine, will have to do with Lily and those hybrid witch vampires that they have there. But there's really not much else that needs to be said, I guess. So it was a great episode. Damon and Elena, it's what it is. What can you do? I think there's a lot more they could have done in season 4, 5, and 6. I feel like they were just apart too many times. Between the sire, the breaking up, Catherine body snatching, her dreaming about Stefan, all of these things with the travelers and all of that, it just kept them apart for too long. And at least they were able to be together in season 6. So at least there's that. So if you're a Damon and Elena fan, let me know if you're satisfied with it, if you're happy with the way they wrapped everything up. And I guess that's it. So I will see you guys in the next video. My name is Damien, and thanks for watching.